Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts.
Mounds don't.
Hello and welcome to this thing called church. Today is November 3rd and this is our 12th episode. I am joined with Kevin and David for another fun conversation, I'm sure. We've already been laughing. So we had a big weekend this past weekend. And actually, before we get into that, why don't we talk about your mug first?
So it was just in my box one day downstairs. Be careful or you will end up in my sermon.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Actually, the church is always in my sermon. They just don't. Not by name.
Not by name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would never call someone out in a sermon. Maybe.
Okay. I feel like you called me out, on Sunday, but thanks.
Well, when someone thinks that you're talking about them.
Oh. No, you said my name.
Did I say your name?
You actually said.
Oh, I did.
When Kevin
That's right.
preaches,
That's right.
he brings an orchestra.
That wasn't in the sermon. That was in the announcements.
Okay.
So announcements are fair game. You may end up in the announcements.
Okay.
But sermons. No, I mean, you're thinking about the church when you write sermons, when you preach. The needs, the concerns, the hurts, the joys, whatever is going on.
Grievances.
Broadly, the grievances, right? The anger, disgust. But no. Yeah, so just be careful.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel warned.
Yes, exactly.
Fair game.
So this weekend was Halloween, and did you guys,
No.
did you go trick-or-treating,
No.
Kevin?
No.
No?
I didn't know, but we had trick-or-treaters.
Did you?
Yeah, we had quite a few.
We didn't have hardly any.
I know.
Yeah.
Ours is going down, our neighborhood.
They came in, I guess it's cyclical, like as kids grow up.
Yeah.
Well, that's
In
what it
neighborhoods.
is. In our neighborhood, we used to have tons of young families. Everyone's grown up, and we don't have a lot of turnover.
Right.
So we get some stragglers. I mean, we had probably 50 to 75, but not like it used to.
Yeah.
So.
I think we had like 20.
Ooh.
Which is fine because we got the candy. So.
Well, and speaking of candy,
I don't need the candy.
so we still had a lot of leftover candy, and again, it's to the point now where you have teenagers, you don't even see. Like we sit out in our driveway with a fire pit and talk to people as they come up and stuff, but we don't even see our kids anymore. They
go do stuff.
Yeah.
And they do stuff, and then they come back with pillowcases
full of candy. Yeah.
Full of candy. And Sarah was saying that a couple of the houses she went to, because they kind of went a little bit later, not super late, but a little bit later, and they were like, take it all. And they were like, the parents were like, yes, take it. Like she's like, they dumped like the whole bowl of candy into our pillowcase. I was like, oh my gosh. So speaking of, this is some of our leftover candy.
I did notice there are no milk duds in here.
That's disappointing.
I know. David
She
and I
took them out before she brought them up.
They're all gone. David and I love milk duds, and
They're hard to find.
they are.
Well, they're like a delicacy.
Like escargot.
Yeah.
Milk duds.
Caviar. They're rare.
Well, and like remember last week when Kevin and I ran to CVS and we were going to get, I was like, I'm going to get milk duds. You want some? And you're like, yeah. And I went to the spot where they are and it was empty. And I was like, oh my God.
It was bad.
It was bad.
She was devastated.
I was, but you know what I ended up doing? I think I bought like a $15 bag of Halloween mixed candy because they had the little mini milk duds. That's how desperate I was.
It's a workout eating them.
It is. They last a while. That's what I like about them.
It's like a cow chewing its cud.
I made the mistake of like, what about Whoppers with it? No, those are not the same.
No, they're not the same.
Sorry.
However, I wouldn't turn down a Whopper.
No.
Okay.
The
There you go,
candy,
everybody.
not the sandwich. But the candy. No offense, Burger King. But
Okay. Well, speaking of candy and Halloween, because we just had that, and then we'll go into our real topic. So I thought here are some interesting facts that I found. So Americans, guess how much they will spend on candy alone? Like not like you as an average, like total.
it's got to be crazy.
$2.6 billion.
Billion with a B.
Billion with a B. Okay.
That's insane.
Yep. 160 million Americans will buy candy for Halloween. Okay, so this is crazy too. Children would have to play for 2 days straight to burn off the calories in the average amount of candy collected on Halloween. Isn't that crazy?
That explains a lot in my house.
How much do you think like I was just talking about pillowcases? How much do you think the average pillowcase? How many pieces of candy will the average pillowcase hold?
Average pillowcase. I don't know.
Yeah, like
300.
not the king size pillowcase, just the standard pillowcase.
300.
1,500 pieces.
1,600 pieces
Wow.
of candy when fully stuffed.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Studies show that kids can consume up to 3 cups of sugar eating Halloween candy. That's 169 sugar cubes. All right, I won't go into all of this, but
What? A lot of research there. Didn't realize this was like a PhD thing here.
No, I know. Okay. But it was just like,
Pages.
it's crazy.
I think it's double-sided.
Yeah, let's see what time is it.
I know.
Never mind about all say it. So keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going about candy.
No,
All right,
this
but
is
we talked
fascinating.
about this earlier. What do you think the top selling Halloween candy is?
The
In
top-
7 states, the most out of any candy.
I'm going to say
Hershey's.
Snickers.
Hershey bars.
It's Skittles.
Yeah, that
Gross.
doesn't surprise me. You know, it's interesting. The kids, I started by handing them candy.
Yep.
Oh, no.
And then Kim's like, you need to
No.
let them pick their own.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll let them pick. So the next time, then I noticed they're all just going for the Skittles. Like they were bypassing all the chocolate and they wanted the
Do
sweet
not
and sour.
like Skittles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah.
I love Skittles.
Yeah. David and I are on the same candy page.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it goes into like, there's just like stuff about candy corn and just, it's crazy.
have a bag of
Crazy,
candy
crazy, crazy.
You have a bag of candy corn?
I do have a bag of candy corn.
That's gross, dude.
See? And that's what it says too. It's like this big,
It's like cilantro.
it's a, yeah.
Cilantro's amazing.
Cilantro is horrible. It tastes like soap.
35 million pounds of candy corn are produced. That's 9 billion pieces. It's over more than people on Earth.
No, $2.6 billion worth of candy. The crazy thing about that is Jeff Bezos could buy everyone's Halloween candy and not blink.
Oh my gosh.
$2.6 billion.
But think about what they could do with that. I mean, that's just what people bought for candy. If people tithe that.
Off of $2.6 billion?
No. Like if
Oh,
everybody
oh.
gave, instead of buying candy, they just gave to the church.
Oh, yeah. It's expensive. Bags of candy. Those big
I
bags
know,
of candy.
but-
are-
So wait, is that 2
Crazy.
points for candy per? I don't know why we're talking about this so
I know,
long.
sorry.
Annually, or is that just for Halloween?
That was just for Halloween.
What? Because
Yes.
you know it's higher than that for Christmas and
Valentine's
Easter.
Day.
No, Easter is higher, but I think Easter candy's more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody buys for Halloween.
We used to have a big bowl, and
Yeah.
we would have like leftover Halloween candy, and then at Easter we would rotate out the leftover Halloween candy and fill the bowl with Easter candy, and then by the next Halloween we would rotate out the old Easter candy.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
yep, just a constant rotation of sugar.
Well, my kids have pillowcases that we're just going to have to take care of because they don't need it. So anyway.
It was a great
okay.
day, 31st.
It was, so that was also, not only was it Halloween, but it was also our All Saints service here.
Right.
And like we joked earlier, when Kevin preaches, he brings an orchestra and a
Yeah,
choir
and a choir.
and French horns and
A harp.
and a timpani.
Awesome oboe player.
Yeah.
She is
Fantastic.
really good. Well, they were all good, but she
Yeah.
is
So it was an amazing,
beautiful
it
day.
was just
Wonderful
so
day.
beautiful. the question I got asked when I was talking to people was, "Oh my gosh, they must have rehearsed like forever," and I'm like, "You did, but it was just your normal rehearsals, and you started in September,
August, a little bit like at the end of August, like 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of August."
Yeah. So,
some folks had sung that before,
a lot of them. Now the youth had not,
right?
And so that was fun to watch the youth kind of get exposed to that, and on Saturday morning when we had the horns playing really loud in that one movement, they were just.
When you tackle a piece like that, do you start with, as the director, do you start with the hard stuff?
No,
because it takes longer.
No,
or do you give them a quick win?
I give them a quick win so they don't walk out of the rehearsal.
Demoralized. So they say, "Wow, that actually sounds pretty good. We can maybe do this."
It's like sort of like like a pool shark. Like after a while, then I just like show them like, here's a hard piece, and they're too far into it then.
Right.
They're like, well, I do like those other 3 movements, so this one really weird part I'll suffer through. Yeah.
it was how many? It was like 65 pages or so.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
7 movements.
Yeah. It was just absolutely.
It's hard, singing. It was like a 40-minute work, so it's hard, especially after not singing. We've not been doing stuff like this, so it was good. That's a great piece for us to get back into rehearsing, and like I said, the youth getting to do that was really good. Even the instrumentalists, who can be kind of jaded, they were saying this is so good to be back together. They were playing closer than they play at Charlotte Symphony. Most of them are in the symphony, and they were saying, wow, like they have to play still separately, really far apart. Yeah. So they really loved it,
which is hard to do when you can't hear.
Yeah, it's hard to do
when you're struggling to hear each other,
and that's exactly what the flutist said.
So, can you tell a little bit about that piece? I always heard you referring it to as the rudder.
Yeah,
but it was written by John Rudder,
right?
So that's why you call it the rudder. But it's got Latin. It's got different.
English, yeah.
It's got some darker sides and some like at the end with like the last wrap up. It's I hate to say this because it's not right, but it sounded like the wrap up to a Disney movie.
Yeah,
with the happy, like it brings back from the first movement. And but what does the song? What does the piece mean? Like what?
Sure.
What is it?
So a lot of the words are taken from the Requiem Mass, the Catholic Mass.
Okay.
But what John Rudder did, he wrote it in the 80s. Is sort of modernize it and put some English text from the 1662 prayer book, the original Anglican prayer book. So all those English words were coming from the Anglican prayer book. So he kind of merges these styles of words, but also musical styles. And so that's why you did hear some kind of weird, disturbing things. But there's also these really beautiful, almost Broadway moments.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And you picked up, you just said it, we were just talking about this yesterday, that he does a good job of weaving some themes through it.
Right.
And so you get this sense of, and it's structured in this sort of arch format. So the 1st and 7th movement are very similar.
Yes.
The 2nd and the 6th were both psalms. And then the 3rd and the 5th, I'm trying to think of that, is Latin. And then the 4th is this kind of ebullient, kind of festive sanctus, praising God. So it's kind of this arch format.
Wow.
And I think that translates out. Even if you're not aware of it as like you're listening to it, it does come, you kind of get that sense of how it hangs together.
Yeah. It was amazing.
English composer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Still living. And someone called last week thinking we had him here. And so I told Jonna and others to say is we don't know he's not going to be here.
Oh.
He could have showed
up.
I don't know. He didn't. If he was,
he could have gotten wind that things were happening,
and you don't know.
Shown up.
We should send it to him.
Well, it'll be on the.
I know. We did an amazing job with the recording it and the sound and it's on our YouTube channel and all of that. So
very thankful for the choirs, of course, but also our digital ministry team of guys that were working behind the scenes. They were here Saturday, 10 to 12, and so
lots of time and effort and
man
dedication.
Hours
I was thinking that Sunday, the busyness in the control room where they do all of their stuff. The average person who just shows up for worship has no idea how many hours, how dedicated our volunteers, those ministry servants are, to make all of this possible. Yeah. So that, I think a couple hundred people probably have seen it online at least. Or on Sunday mornings, that many saw it online.
Yeah.
And some of our instrumentalists have asked, can we get a copy of that? We want to see it. I mean, they're wanting to share it. and even renting the stage and having the staff had to help move stuff around. That was very kind of them. So a lot of
Well,
stuff.
and even and of course the choir members and all of their time and dedication. But just, I said this on Sunday, everyone had a part in it, in that you need listeners, right? You need the people to come and appreciate and listen and worship. We also need folks to be generous, right? When we're generous, stuff like that happens.
That's true.
That's how it happens.
That's
It doesn't
true.
happen by accident, or we're not printing money downstairs. We are not printing money downstairs. So everyone had a role.
Yeah.
And some, it was the role of generosity to give to ministries to make those things happen. Others did other things.
Yeah.
So
It was a great day, and I think it was fitting for what the Day of All Saints is,
Right.
To kind of respect those people that you mentioned so well that have gone before us and had an impact on our lives.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about people I've lost, throughout the day, and people that are close to me who they have lost their fathers and mothers and things like that. So.
But I was just thinking too, Kevin, how many times the word requiem or rest appears in that piece. It's just over and over and over again. And we were talking about that. And for those 30 saints that we named, and then or 31 maybe, countless others who folks I know were thinking about naming on their own. And after the year and a half that we've had, just to sing a prayer asking God for a bit of rest.
Oh,
just, a moment of peace. It was powerful.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day.
Yeah, it really was. And I left there on like on a hot, I just had this energy, oh my God, that was so good. That was so good. Oh my gosh. And then I took a nap.
Yeah, same actually. Yeah, I felt great. And then about 2:00, I was like, oh, I felt like I'd been at a church lock-in. Just kind of.
But it was just, I think DUMC provides a beautiful Sunday service every Sunday. But man, when you go big, you knock it out of the park. You really do. It's just, it always just gets better, really, all the time. So, could you hear us in the control room from where you were
sitting? No, I could not hear you, but I did hear, was it Sam in the back?
Yes.
Yeah. So Sam had a headset on, and I could hear Brian talking to him, just very faintly.
Okay.
I mean, it was just, you had to be listening.
Yeah.
But no, we couldn't hear you guys.
All right. Well, Brian doesn't stop talking the entire time, which is a good thing. But
that's bold to say. He's running this right now.
Might want to watch it.
We love you, Brian. But there are some moments where, the tension is really high in there, and because everyone's just so focused. Everyone's just so super focused. And then Brian will just casually mention something really funny, and we kind of start laughing. So, but anyway, and we're like, oh my gosh, David is sitting right on the other side of us. I wonder if he could hear us.
Oh no, I was too enthralled by the harpist. I sat right beside her.
It's an amazing instrument.
She said, I could feel you staring at my feet. and there are pedals on the harp, like a bit like an organ.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was just fascinated by when she would move a pedal and the sound, how the sound would change, and trying to figure out, I know what that pedal does this, and that pedal dampens, and this.
Now you can play the harp. So next time you need.
There you go, Kevin.
I tried to get him to direct on Sunday.
We helped her put it in her car. I could maybe do that.
I saw you doing that.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Bless her. That's a beast to haul around.
Mm-hmm.
I dated a harpist once, and you dated the harp too. That was.
They're inseparable.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say we're friends on Facebook, so I don't want to ever see that. But it was hard.
Did you ever date a harpsichordist?
No, but
they travel with their.
I know those are horrible. Yeah, it's a move. To move.
Yeah.
It's a good instrument. It's horrible to move. Anyway.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more then about All Saints, which was the real day was November 1st, but we celebrated it on
a day early.
The day early, and I had heard, is it tied into Halloween as well because of the, and then you were also talking about earlier, like All Hallows, All Saints, and All Souls. So those are three different things. So I don't even know where to start. Do you want to start?
Talk about All Hallows, if you want.
I mean, yeah, I think the way can I work backwards? So
sure.
All Souls, I think we in the Methodist Church at least kind of lump them all together, but they are 3 distinct days.
Mm-hmm.
And so All Souls really was more like that big candle, like we remember everybody that we are remembering. We believe in the company of all the saints, right? But I think originally the All Saints was for those actual, like Saint.
Yeah, pretty much the name
Saint
saints.
so and so, like Saint,
Oh,
Teresa, Saint.
Okay, the true
Yeah.
saints, not
Right, the ones that are-
Saints with a capital S.
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay.
But we sort in the Protestant church, everybody's a saint,
Okay.
So that line, and you can be one too.
Well, it's kind of the New Testament idea of lowercase s saints.
Okay.
All the faithful in Christ are the
Right.
saints. As Paul will say, equip the saints. Well, he's not talking about just these kind of special few really faithful people.
Right.
He's meaning the saints, or he'll write a letter to the saints at wherever.
Right.
And he's writing to the whole church.
Okay.
So we kind of just sort of, for us, it's saints is souls and saints.
Right.
It's
Okay.
all those.
And then
who
All
died.
Hallows Eve is different in that.
Yeah.
What's All Hallows then?
Halloween.
Yeah.
It's kind of a, well, it's had different, and I don't know all of the different ways that All Hallows gets sorted out, but in Latin American traditions, there's the Day of the Dead,
Right.
and the whole tradition around that. There's in the U.S., it's kind of just become sort of a commercial
thing.
dress
Which
up.
we always used
Right.
to joke about. Every holiday we commercialize.
Commercialize.
Yeah, we'll sell something. We'll
Right.
use a holiday to sell something.
Right.
I think it's sort of like Christmas Eve too, in the sense like after the sundown, the holiday begins.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was this whole tradition of scaring away the
Evil.
spirits,
Right.
prior to All Saints,
Right.
the day when you
Okay.
would celebrate the faithful spirits.
Oh,
Right.
I like that. Okay.
So it's, but for us, it's just kind of become a fun day
One
for
big
kids.
thing. Yeah. One big weekend of fun.
yeah, sugar.
And our kids got to go. Well, my oldest got to go into school late, and I think your kids.
We didn't have school.
We didn't have school, but it was something different. But CMS was out of school.
A lot of churches will celebrate All Saints this Sunday.
Yes.
So they'll celebrate
Oh.
it this Sunday after
After it
actual All
actually
Saints
happens.
Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have some friends that were like really upset we didn't celebrate Reformation Day, which is October 31st, which is when Martin Luther nailed the 95 Theses.
Oh.
Not Reese's, but Theses.
Theses. Yeah.
95, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
On the church in Wittenberg.
Yes.
So how come we don't celebrate that? Because All Saints trumps it? It's a little better.
Methodists are not like huge. We're a product of the English Reformation,
Right.
Okay.
which was a fight between was a
Political.
Well, it was political, and it was an argument between. It was almost, so all the historians are going to get mad at me, and I'll probably get letters and emails, but it really
hope
was
so.
kind of a.
I hope so. Please do.
probably.
If you're watching.
Well, please, yeah, you can correct my history. It's fine. But it's we're not a part of the Continental Reformation, out of which grew things like Lutheranism, Presbyterianism.
Okay.
Methodists come out of a different side of the tree, which was essentially the debate between Catholics and less than Catholics, and a whole lot of political stuff wrapped up in it in England.
Okay.
And so we're kind of a step closer to Anglicans, Well, we are essentially theologically. We are not essentially theologically. We are Anglican and Episcopalian, and which means we're a little closer to the healthy parts of Catholicism than, say, Presbyterians or Baptists or Puritans or other Calvinists, other Reformed traditions. So the Reformation for us is a little. It's never been as big a. I don't mean the Reformation Day.
Right.
For us,
Celebrating having a service around
It's
that.
not been a big
Right.
Methodist.
For me, it's
thing.
like weird. It's like celebrating a divorce day. I guess people do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like lots of wars and people died and things. Like it feels weird to be like, woo, that's awesome. I don't know. I'm sure we do that in other holidays, but Independence Day, I guess, is one of those. But
it's a favorite day for a mighty fortress.
yeah.
To be rolled out.
Yeah.
And,
We
sing
did
a
celebrate in-
Lutheran hymn and
2017. That was the 500th anniversary. We did do a Reformation Day here to celebrate because it was the 500th anniversary.
Okay.
And I think we sang. Yeah, we did sing. We sang a Bach cantata and
it's
So you acknowledged
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
but we
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
got it. So why don't we, and I know it's just because it's who we are, but like most in like the Catholic churches, you you can go and light a candle for somebody.
Sure.
And I know, like in our service, we had the last candle lit. But why don't we ever go like have a
spot for candles?
Yeah, like where you could go.
We've talked about it over the years. I'm thinking when Jody Seymour's here, we talked about it. It's kind of a safety thing, really.
Yeah.
A lot of those churches have stone floors.
Yeah.
But we have carpet, and so if someone, if a candle gets knocked over.
My dad always gets nervous when it's a Christmas Eve service.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's holding the candles, and my dad is like, where is the nearest exit? It's this place goes
we
down.
do, just for anybody watching, we do have fire extinguishers staged nearby.
I know. Yeah. I had to tell him that, but he was like, little
we had a youth choir, Karen Easter's daughter, singed her hair at Christmas Eve.
Fun.
Yeah. That was exciting. It was Pentecost and Christmas Eve all at once.
All at the same time. There you go. The kingdom has come.
That's right.
Anyway, I get.
Yeah. Well,
why,
I think too. When the pendulum swings, sometimes we didn't talk about this last time we talked about the sacraments, but when the pendulum swings and people are reacting against something, it often swings too far in the other direction.
Right.
So that anything that smacks of that liturgical stuff or veneration of the saints or whatever, we just sort of reject it outright without ever thinking, it could be a holy thing to go to a sacred place and light a candle for grandma and say a prayer and give thanks for her life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? That's not an unholy thing to do, to thank God for the lives of people who've blessed your life. And same thing with like marriage. We sort of have rejected marriage as a sacrament, which I think is probably accurate. And yet marriage is certainly sacramental. Mm-hmm. We talked about that a bit last time. Mm-hmm. So hopefully the pendulum can kind of swing to some healthy place where we draw on the rich tradition of the church without making the same mistakes that some of our ancestors in the faith made.
Yeah. I
asked a professor recently that I had when I was at SMU, some of these churches that you go around to here, Methodist churches, will chime the Trinity. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, where does that come from? And his theory is that, for what you said, like we got rid of so much tradition and I don't want to say pomp and circumstance, but, things that we do for reasons. And he said what ended up happening is that he thinks that what we've been doing for the last 500 years is trying to slowly get that meaning and purpose back. And so putting chiming of the Trinity in at the beginning or the end of the worship service is another way. If you go to a Catholic Mass, they ring the bell 3 times before they have they begin the Mass. Everybody stands up. So I think, we all as human beings are craving that meaning and purpose.
Yeah.
And ritual is really important. It gives shape to life. It helps us now. Think about your everyone I've ever met has a bedtime ritual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't call it that. They don't really. But if you don't even have to think about it. I do these things in this order in order to be prepared to rest. And ritual helps us navigate life in that way.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have time for this, but I would love to go off on how there's liturgy in a Panthers game.
Of course there is.
There's call and response, and there's a third down, and everybody does the same thing, and that's another Panthers, and everybody chants, and there's lights and and smoke, and if you didn't know any better, if I was just writing down the things I was showing, it would look like a Catholic Mass. There's smoke, there's lights and people chanting, and it would sound very much. They sing the same songs, baseball games,
Yeah.
We're all worshiping something all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing to go to a Panthers game, but I'm saying
like
sometimes, in the Reformed tradition, we get a little worked up about liturgy and it's like that. Well, we always gravitate towards that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think All Saints is one of the things we've reclaimed that's become a part of the life of most Methodist churches that I'm aware of, and in a variety of different ways. Most maybe don't do Requiem. There's Requiem on Sunday, but they do something. They light candles, they name names, they ring a bell, they remember the saints who've without whom we'd be less than we are otherwise.
And it's emotional. Just all of the past All Saints services we have, you can just feel something different in the room, and you feel sad for the people that have lost close loved ones this year, and then you also think of your loved ones in the past that are gone, and it's but it's like you feel happy, but you also just it's just a nice service to recognize those.
And that we are indeed surrounded every time we gather by a great cloud of witnesses.
Yeah.
They're all here.
That's a powerful image. I think.
Your grandma's here. My sister's here. I mean,
Yeah.
the people that we know and love. In Christ, we are never separated from one another, which is hopeful, right? In a world sometimes so devoid
I
of
think
hope.
about that during communion a lot when we're celebrating, when you're doing the
They're
words
there
of institution.
every time.
Just on that other side. Yeah, it's powerful.
Cheering us on.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, it was beautiful.
Thank you.
So, I mean, now next week must just feel like,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I know. We can't do that every week. Yeah, and like someone said, Christmas is right around the corner.
It is November 28th, Advent 1.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep. So,
Thanks, David.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure.
But this week is a good thing.
This week
time change. We get an extra hour of sleep.
That's right. Yes.
It's my favorite Sunday of the year.
I always waste it.
You waste it.
Like by staying somehow. I end
You
up
stay
staying
up
up
later because you got that. Yeah.
So don't forget to turn your clocks back.
Fall back.
back.
You won't be late.
No, you won't
That's
be late.
That's the good one about this one.
You'll be well rested, hopefully, and on time. And then other two quick announcements is we have Harvest Procession bags are back out. So pick them up in the gathering space or down outside the church office. That is for filling a bag of Thanksgiving menu items for 300 families, I think, in our community.
And it's 2 bags per family, so we need 600,
Well,
right?
they actually ask that every person in the family take a bag.
No, I mean it takes 2 bags to feed a family.
Oh, so that's 600 bags.
Yeah, so it's 600 bags. So
wow.
please, families, take multiple bags.
Yeah, take
and
many
fill them
bags.
up.
Yeah, that's November 21st. I'm looking for. You haven't seen this, and it's
No, I haven't.
beautiful.
Oh,
we fill that chance.
Sadly, I'm going to miss it. We have a family friend wedding that's been on the calendar for about a year and we're out of town that day.
It'll be recorded. You can watch it on live stream.
I know. Well, we will watch it on live stream that morning because the wedding's on Saturday.
I'll check.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get a bunch.
How many bags were up front, David? That's what I'm going to ask you.
I'm going to count them.
Okay.
I'll just have someone text. I'll have Jim text me.
But it's a wonderful experience.
No, it's a beautiful day. And what a great way for families to be able to be in ministry together. Mm-hmm. Like everybody, every age can do this.
Yes. That's
my kids used to run there little. We would, you can't carry that big bag of sweet potato cans, but they'd get it up there.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It is. And then we have Missions Mall, which it will be in person this year. Last year we had to do it virtually. So it'll be nice to have that. That's the November 14th and November 21st in the Fellowship Hall. Mm-hmm. I think maybe all morning. I don't know if it's just between services, but it's going on. So that will be great to have that back in person for those hard to find gifts for people, that kind of thing. So and one last one, your pledge cards. If you have not received one and you need one, let us know. But if you have not turned it in, please do so.
Thanks to everybody who's turned it in. It's it's a spiritual discipline. It helps us kind of lean into that part of the extravagant generosity practice. The other thing it's really helpful for the folks who make financial decisions for the church to kind of know where we stand and what we're working with, and to make good decisions and try to be faithful stewards with all the resources that we've been given. So, get them. Please turn them in.
Yep.
And
thank you.
We're grateful for it. Thanks for doing that.
Yep. And that's all I have. You guys have anything?
I'm good, Kevin. Advent's coming.
I'm excited.
It's going to be a beautiful season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know for you all who didn't have it last year to have Christmas Eve back in person. And,
that's going to be great.
We're looking forward to it.
Awesome. You can plan now. Services 1, 3, 5, 7, and 11. Yes. Communion at 11 p.m.
Yep, and live streamed at 5. Yeah.
All right.
Certainly beats sitting in the parking lot of the Lowe's Foods in Mooresville handing out kits for people to watch at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing everyone.
Oh, my gosh.
Bring a friend. Come.
Yeah.
Come and worship on Christmas Eve.
Yep. And we may still have some Halloween candy left for everybody.
It's been very hard not to eat any of this. I just want you to
know you're going to break into it as soon as we're done. So anyway, well, thank everybody. Thank you for watching us or listening to us. We appreciate it. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Have a great day.
Today's broadcast Brought to you by Mars M&Ms. Welcome to Better Ministry Through Chemistry with your host David. I'm Kevin. But when you need a snack, Kit Kat. Come on here. Say hello to everybody, Brad. We're recording right now. It's going out live.
Recording.
Everybody, this is Brad.
Morning.
That's our mission pastor, Brad, playing with the fire truck.
Playing with the fire alarms again.
Yes.
Brad, stop that.
Brad, stop watching this. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.